David Hosie from Hosie Consulting and Training. And today we're going over PS90 SBR and what it's practical for. We come up over here and clear this. We'll go over the gun, the carry system for it, because I'm kind of a systems guy. And this is another one of the K files. My long obsession with SBRs and the ability to conceal long guns on yourself. So here, get my ear out so I can hear myself talk. So what I'm deploying with is a 511 tactical bag. It's got a set of 3A body armor in it. And also a small pocket where I can keep spare magazines. Whole package on your back's about 16 pounds, so the gun's only about 7.5. I deploy it well in this bag sometimes, or like it's a truck gun. Also with this little small ammo sling where I can just throw over the shoulder. It gives me 200 rounds on board. Real quick, while I'm going to give you kind of a scale to what the bag can do and what the gun can do. This PS90, it's a little bag can sit in it. You can also see how small it is to an MP5K. It's shorter, AK SBR, or even a full-sized AR. It's a real small gun. All these can fit in that bag with the stocks collapsed or folded, or the AR's case broken up in two. Why don't you come over here and I'll show you mechanically what this is, and then I'll start talking to you about it, what it really is as a fighting and working tool. So we'll break this down here. What this was designed was as a personal defense weapon, kind of a submachine gun like thing, not quite a rifle, not quite a pistol, for rear echelon troops like truck drivers, your military intelligence types, communications types, those guys during the Cold War. So just push this button here, pull that out, the bolt comes out, then back here, just undo the buttstock, kind of lift up, and my trigger pack comes out. That is disassembly of this gun, how simple it is. It's a very simplistic gun. Also back here, got a little oiling pack where I keep my SBR paperwork on it. Putting it back together is just as simple. Put it in. The bolt has a bottom eject out this bottom ejection port here, right here. There's a little dust cover that goes over it too. Also can work as a bolt hold open. And simply that, you put it back together, reassembly. Oh, real quick while I've got it here. This is your trigger. See this little bent coat hanger? It throws all the way back to your trigger pack in here. And this is your trigger pull to how it shoots. It's got the trigger pull of like a super soaker. It's really lousy, it's heavy. It's got an audible reset, but it's a little hard to hear. You'd think that would be a detriment to marksmanship, but it's really not. It's roughly about a 4 MOA gun. As we'll see later, it could be 4 MOA really far out to 400 yards, when you can still hit man-sized targets. The magazines here look a little funny. You can see the ammo loaded here. It's loaded this way, sits on top, but it's got this, then it feeds in this way on the top. You can see real closely here, the ammunition rotates as you do it. And the round here itself is 5.7 by 28. It also works for a pistol round. We'll go over the pistol later. I'm going to have a section on body armor and pistols and do that. This terminal ballistics of this, it's worked good on coyotes. We'll talk later about how the terminal ballistics is once we do a bunch of demonstrations of what this little gun can do and how well balanced it is close into your body. Since this is a whole system here, I built it as such with not only the gun, but some concealable body armor, level 3A, with a level 3 steel plate where the normal trauma plate would be. That could take some rifle rounds there. And this over the sling bag with 150 rounds, 3 magazines. So we'll kit up here. Show you in part what the system can do. Again, this is something you can carry in a small bag and have with you. kind of almost a Minuteman setup. So easy, just real quick with targets here. Okay, what add-ons we got here for scope use here. I've got an RMR with an 8 MOA dot, dual illumination for Perigicon with fiber optics, so I can see an amber dot here, 8 MOA. It's on all the time. I've had it 8 years, never changed the battery. And a little visible laser here, which will show you. Otherwise, just gonna be a backup sight. And a little Surefire mini scout light here, where I could do night work with this thing. In addition to just being so close and easy to the body, this thing is just a breeze. When clearing a house, it's just so easy. I can also hold it out like a pistol, which actually works really good in cars. Again, house clearing, I can open doors and stuff with this and easily still have enough to shoot. One-handed. Then here, I can even tuck it in really tight to my body, just make sure my hands are otherwise, and do handgun-like retention with it. And easily have it there to shoot. Speaking of body armor, what this thing, because the high velocity here, a lot of this can get over 2,000 feet a second out of this 10.3 inch barrel here. Also can work a suppressor really well. So that's what it's set up for with the flash hider. Real quick here, we'll show what we can do with body armor. So what we have here is level 3A body armor, manufactured 2 years ago. It's designed for body armor panels, just including the side here. We're shoot it once with some Elite Ammunition, which is an aftermarket company that sells ammo for this with their M4 Velociraptor. And pull up this orange juice bottle here to show you what this can really do. One of the ideas when they made this for NATO was the idea it can, better than a pistol or submachine gun, is it can defeat body armor. So we'll go back here really quick and entrance, exit, entrance in here. It stayed in. Actually, I think parts of it blew out the top. It's hard to see pieces in there. Heated up that water pretty quick too. Funny. So anyway, the advantage of this system is it's about the smallest system you can have for a long gun that can penetrate body armor. There's not an AR or AK or anything else that's quite this short at 21 inches. Before I wrap this up and give my final thoughts on what this can really do in its terminal ballistics, we're going to go over a long range and in a car and show you what it can do there. So we're doing some longer range here. I'm only started at 80 yards. If you could spin and look at that real quick. This could be our target. We'll move from there all the way out to 400 yards behind us. But in the meantime, I got a suppressor on this, especially so I can hear it at 400 yards. That little bullet's a little hard to hear the ting on it. Sometimes it doesn't change the point of impact very much at all. Here at 80 yards, because it's just so stable, because I get it back into my body, it's so tight in. 2 months ago, I did a NRA high power with service rifle, an old M1 Garand, and holding that long weight out there, especially in the slow fire offhand, it really starts to tell. With this, all that weight's back towards your body, even with the suppressor here on it, and I'm able to get a lot tighter into my shot. So here, there you go. That's a headshot at 80 yards with this, offhand. Just give you an idea of how compact, what this little compact package can do. Now we're going to go back a lot further because this thing is really flat shooting, and you'll be amazed at what you can do with it. Okay, we're back here at 400 yards. which seems pretty long for this thing, but it's flatter shooting than you think. I'm aiming just about a target from above it. The biggest detriment to this range is the optic I've got. I've got a going on 8-year-old Trigicon RMR. The fiber optics on it mean I don't have to worry about batteries, but like an ACOG, I can get flares sometimes. So for a longer range, I've actually taped it up a little bit so I can see my dot better and place it on the target. But just line it up here and if you heard that just slight ting there. And again. So we'll go forward, see what the target looks like. But again, this thing's so flat shooting, I'm aiming just about 3 feet above the target. It's not quite an assault rifle cartridge, like a 5.56 or 5.45. Still got a bit of dip to it, especially with these itty bitty little rounds I've got. Just more like pellets, but you can really shoot flat with it. I can drive with it in my lap like this. I can shoot out to the side. Real easy there. Even extend one-handed. And so what have we learned today? One, this is a really versatile system. It's really handy, easy to use. It's surprisingly accurate. It's 4 MOA, but the way this thing balances, you can have it reach out to long range with it. It can penetrate body armor. It can conceal in all kinds of different little bags or locations, or even underneath bulky enough clothing. What is it really good for? When that really comes down to is the terminal ballistics. This is what I pulled out of the water bottle after I shot it. You can see the core separated. The core here is aluminum. This is just 28 grains when I shot. That it was going close to 3,000 feet per second with that Elite Ammo's S4 ammo. And this little 10 3-inch barrel. Even the stuff I can buy over the box, like I can get like 10 different locations within an hour's drive here, including the local Fred Meyer. I can buy ammo for this. In fact, the ammo did for most of the training stuff is just their Full Metal Jacket version I bought there. And I bought that at like 25 bucks. That I looked online today, it was $16 for a 50-round box, which is what, 32 cents a round. It's only a little bit more than 9mm. But when we really get down to that round, it's this terminal ballistics. Online we get some ridiculous things where we say it's nothing more than a 22, or is it close to a 9mm? So what it is here is a 5.7, and some of us advocates will say it's a 243. We got a 308 here. Otherwise, to show you what it is in relation to other things, I thought this is 40 grain bullet out of this thing going about 2,000 feet a second. What it really is we get online debates get ridiculous on this. Were you giving the whole Fort Hood shooting, or what police agency or army or the Secret Service uses it, or anything else like that? I can't speak to that. I don't want to really relive all that and go over it. What I can say is I've shot 9 coyotes out of maybe the 50 coyotes I've killed with this gun, and I can tell you what it does versus coyotes compared to other rounds. The other rounds I've killed coyotes with are 32 ACP, 9mm, 10mm, 45 ACP, 223, 243, 308, and a 50 Beowulf. What this does is it does not kill as well as a rifle round. It just doesn't have the energy. It kills similar to a pistol round, but the wound looks a little bit different. It's generally shorter penetration, but wider and bloodier. You get some hydrostatic shock out of it, but it doesn't have the energy to carry through all the way through. It's not going to meet FBI ballistics if you're looking at that. But it will go through body armor, and it shoots flat like a rifle. Thought at 400 yards, maybe it is hitting like a 22 at 400 yards. But the point is it's still hitting out there, which I can't do easily with a pistol round or a 22. What you've seen me when I did the shooting on this is I did quad taps. The quote of a recent Stephen Hunter novel, it is against my religion to shoot something only one time. With this, you need to have a lot of religion. That's why I have the 4 taps, if you're going to use it for self-defense purposes. The other thing where this has a real advantage, aside from its obvious concealability, and working around inside of buildings or vehicles is with disabled people or elderly and infirm. This is easy to work one-handed, and it's so easy to work the charging handle on this thing. Break it down and everything else. The recoil is very light. I had one client that had a bit of a nervous condition where rifle recoil, even a 223, would cause her pain. On this, it doesn't. You have that really low recoil. About anyone can use this. My kids, when they were 10 years old, were easily hitting targets at 100 yards with this thing, just because it's so light and easy to handle. It's a real easy gun to use. And actually, when I first began the K-Files, this and a Chris and 45 ACP, which I'll compare it against later. But if you're really looking at this, is what it can do is a lot in a small package. It's really hard to find anything this small that can do this much against body armor, range, varmints, whatever. If you've got real-world experience on this, it'd be really interesting to put that in the comments. Not, I think it compares to a 22 or whatever else, but real-world experience, put down in the comments otherwise. So if you got comments about the system or want to learn more about it, comment down below. If you really want to learn about it, you can come and train with it and me. This is available for rental along with everything else here at Hosie Consulting and Training. You can go to my website and contact me that way. I'm in Northwestern Oregon. Otherwise, thank you for your time and consideration. Good day.